Hello everyone, and welcome back to Simi Control Chaos, and I've been sort of dreading this, to be honest. This is by far my largest collection of games. It's my PlayStation 2 collection. So, this is going to be a pretty big slog for me, just sitting here going through all of these. There's 3 stacks. I think there are 16 or 18 in each stack. I could be wrong. But I know it's going to take a while, so this is going to be more of a just sit back and relax video as compared to the last one, which may take, 15 minutes, somewhere in that range. This is probably going to take me about half an hour, if not much longer. So, let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with the latest game I picked up, which is Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty. I have not played this game. I've never played any Metal Gear Solid game. Mainly just because I never really knew about it when I was a kid, and I've only learned of it recently. As amazing as that is, because I know everyone who's ever played these games just can't stop talking about them. Apparently they are incredibly amazing. So I'm not going to be able to spend too much time on each one of these games. I'm just going to have to blow through it. This is not actually what it looks like. I did used to have this game. I hated it after like a while. But this actually has, for whatever reason, Shrek 2 in it. This has a little bit of an interesting story that I'll just delve into briefly. I played this game, I got stuck. Something about you had to collect lizard heads in the swamp. Well, I found them in all 3 of the first 3 levels. Because you have to find you have to do everything in the first 3 levels before you can progress, which was fucking stupid as far as game design. And I could not find the last lizard head in the first level. And I was too damn stubborn to look up a walkthrough. I think I actually did try looking up a walkthrough and couldn't find anything. So, yeah, I remember looking up a video walkthrough and they did not collect the lizard heads. So I couldn't find anything. I still can't find anything. Maybe I can look up a maybe now if I try looking up a walkthrough, but the point is that I just kind of hate this game now, which is sad because it wasn't poorly built otherwise, but there's that. Okay, here's one of my personal favorites. Van Helsing for the PS2. Just here. Yeah. I remember my mom and me watched this movie I don't know how many times, and then I saw this game and I'm just like, holy shit, I have to have this game. And she's like, fine, but you gotta promise to be good for like 2 months. And I'm like, done. I think I spent that 2 months playing this game, so yeah, I guess I was good, because I wasn't doing shit except for playing this game over and over and over again. I still will play this occasionally if I feel the need. It's just that good. It's like Devil May Cry. The same formula, the same combat, etc. It's just Van Helsing. Alright. Here's a game that I'm a bit confused over. I picked this up a few years ago. It's a blue disc, I think. Is this one of the blue? Yeah, this is a blue disc. Probably see my hair doing that one. Not good. Alright, so this game's a bit weird. I've never seen anyone else talk about it. I've found a few playthroughs and everybody's just like, oh, what am I playing? Oh, this game's so old and shitty, blah, blah, blah. I don't like it. Well, whatever. I liked it, but it's very Diablo-esque. Let's see. In the realm of the Dark Angel, you control the avatar Anna. Basically, you have to level up certain stats, and your stats after a year, I think. Hang on. Oh, here it is. Here's the final boss, the Shadow Lord. The monster's energy is keeping humanity weak, but you can turn their own nature against them. Oh, that's the monsters. Be cautious. Yeah, so basically you have a year, or 2 years, something like that, before he rises, and that whatever your stats are when he finally rises is all you got. I have not played this game completely through. I have tried my best, but it's a game that, it's like, I compare this game to reading, there we go, better get in the shot a little bit better. I compare this game to reading Lord of the Rings. you can only read so much of it at a time before you get burned out. I still want to beat this game and I don't know, maybe see what the ending is, see if it's any good. But it plays almost exactly like Diablo. So if you like this game or if you like Diablo, this game might be interesting to pick up because no one really knows about it and it's cheap. Tekken 4. I actually really like this game. I played Tekken 1, I think, back in the day on the PlayStation. I don't think I had the PlayStation 2 version. Or shit, I don't think I had Tekken 2. I'm sorry, I'm like zoning out a little bit. But I picked this up because it was like cheap at the time. I think I actually bought this brand new, come think of it, somewhere. And I was just like, you know what, fuck it, you know, Tekken 4. Why not? I like Tekken. Let's play some Tekken. And I really like this game. That it kind of got me back into the series because now I want to pick up the rest of them and play it. Spiderwick Chronicles. This game was actually really good. I went into it expecting not a lot. This game is actually really good. If you have kids or even adults can play this game. It is that good. The movie wasn't too bad. It got a little stale after a while, whatever, but this movie, there is one thing that is kind of a pain in the ass. It's getting her sword, like the actual like sword, not her fencing sword, because they hide it just so arbitrarily. Is that the word? I don't know. Cryptically. That's a better word, I suppose. I actually know what that word means. It's so cryptic with it. Because you have to make a jump that you think would kill you, but it doesn't kill you, so you have to make the leap of faith. So just look up a walkthrough or whatever and you'll find it. Or not, and you can still play through the game either way, so. I wish I had the cover for this. I really do. Godzilla, Save the Earth. I want the rest of these games. I'm gonna pick them all up sooner or later. Because I love this game so much. It's like, I don't know, it's just like the perfect Godzilla game for me. With the exception of I want a game where you actually like fight something the size of Godzilla and kill it, but you're not like a superhero. You're just like a regular dude. So I guess, I don't know, Dead Space would probably be a good example. Ooh, Blade 2. I have never actually got this game to work as far as I remember. Yeah. So movie gallery. I remember that. Very damn. I don't think I've ever got this. It's either this game or Spawn. I have Spawn in this selection somewhere. Is it in this stack? Yeah, it's actually a few more down the way. I can't remember if it's this one or Spawn that I can't get to work, but I'm fairly sure it was this one. This one makes me a bit sad, because I remember my brothers got this back in the day. Here's how this went down. I got my PlayStation, I got like, I think 2 games with it, and then they just started buying PlayStation 2 games. Well, we all did, but they mainly did because they were older and had more money. So, I remember they bought this because it was like just a easy way to play a bunch of games. And I lost the disc. Well, actually, I didn't lose the disc. I think my other brother did. When I got this from him not too long ago, it just didn't have it, so. Oh well, I got the case and I got the memories. Just a shitty little racing game I got. Ford versus Chevy. It was something I wanted to I wanted something. Hey, why is this backwards? What the hell? Oh, well, I don't know. I wanted to get a game I could play with my dad in the room and he not just go, what the fuck are you playing? What's this? What's that? With this, he knew what the fuck it was and I could sit there in somewhat peace. I love my dad, but he can be kind of annoying at times. But then again, all dads can. It's really just a dad thing. Oh, I love the guy. Here's a little interesting one. Monster Hunter. Now this is not the case. I bought this and I had no idea what the fuck it was. Because I had never heard of Monster Hunter. This game inspired me to look up what it was and see what the story was, and I found out it was mainly a Japan exclusive series. But for whatever reason, this game was released to the North American market. And it was like one of the few releases. The only other one I could think of was Monster Hunter Tri. Now they did announce the new one coming out on PS4 and Xbox, but this was the first, as far as I know, to come out to the United States. There is another version you can get for the PS3, and since the PS3 is region free, you can play it. I'm actually going to pick that up soon, if I can, because I love this series. Let's see, Duel Masters, the Yugioh knockoff. Limited edition, free booster pack inside. I don't think there's anything in here, like booster pack. I don't think there's any cards in here or anything now. Just the game. I picked it up because, well, at the time I was into Yu-Gi-Oh! And this was on TV and it was like Yu-Gi-Oh! And I figured, what the hell, I'll give it a shot, right? Playing the game's a lot easier than collecting all the cards. I like the shiny finish it's got, though. But overall, this is a good game. It's a little sloggy, though. Like, you have how many characters? I don't know. Like, I think 6 or 7 characters, however many different classes there are. And then you have to play through all their storylines, and then if you get to the big tournament, and you have to, like, pick a character or something. I don't know. I beat all their storylines, but I have not finished it yet. I might do that eventually, but I don't have time for it now. Alright, now I picked that game up also because I heard it was a lot like this one. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses. I kind of wish they would have made a show based off of this because the story is somewhat original. You just take the Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters and insert them into the European Duel or War of the Roses. It gives you an original villain. Yada yada. It's interesting anyway. I can't remember if it's this or my Game Boy version where you can like if you have cards in real life, you can like put in a code and it'll give you that card. Oh yeah, this came with all the magnet cards that Yugi uses in the show. I don't think I've ever owned any one of those cards. Usually to get Yugi shit, you always had to buy the Yugi exclusive decks. Because, you know, it's special. I'm trying to get italics in here, but it's not working very well because I'm having to zoom in. But anyway, this is a good game. It's kind of turn-based card playing. It's a little different. It's very unique. I've never played another game like it with the exception of the Duel Masters game. Oh boy, here's a good one. Destroy All Humans. I have not played the second one. I do not own the second one, but damn do I want it because it's supposed to be like really an improvement over this one, from what I understand. Like the mechanics, you can play 2-player. This one doesn't do that, I don't think. Yeah, it's 1-player. I remember playing the demo to this, and in the demo, he actually eats the brains and not collecting it. And you can see this later on in the game, like they forgot to edit it out or something. You're going through the city, and you activate this antenna, and everyone's heads explode, and you can see him running through in a cutscene going, "Chow time." So you know that originally he was supposed to eat the brains, but in this game, for whatever reason, they like dumbed it down to, oh, you have to collect the brains. You can't eat the brains, because, I don't know, you'll offend people and have to get a higher rating or something, I don't know. Actually, I think there's more than 2. I think they have 3 games in this series, I'm not quite sure. But, and moving on, we have Hitman. I played this, I can't remember how far along I played this, but I remember I got bored because it seemed like such a random luck-based thing. You always had to get lucky or just play through it enough that you knew what dialogue options would affect what or what situations you had to deal with how. It's like Dark Souls to me without being as fun or as fair for whatever reason. So I didn't take much of a shine to this. I'm sure a lot of people love it, and I like it. I do. It just it's a lot like the other game. You just kind of have to take it in paces. I don't know. Take it in doses. Yeah, that's it. From Russia with Love, 007. I've never actually played this game. I think I popped it in to see if it worked, but I don't think I've ever played it. I haven't really watched too many of the James Bond movies. I watched a couple. I know who he is. I get the references, but I have not overly invested and like watched all of them. So this is probably a better game than I think it is, or I just don't get the references. I don't know. But moving on. Here's Spawn, Armageddon. I really wish this game would work. It looks interesting. It does. But I remembered now that this is actually the game that won't work. Which is a shame, because I think I actually got the disc clean. It might work now. I don't know. It's been so long and I've just assumed all this time that it doesn't work. Fucking stickers, I hate those. But I have a plan to get all those off soon, so it doesn't matter. So, if this is any good, leave a comment down below and let me know if I'm wasting my time. Because if this game's shit, I'm gonna be just disappointed. It looks good though, the cover art's amazing. Just wish it would have been a little more... I don't know, have like more things on it, on the package rather than just the 3 characters. But other than that, it's amazing. I like it. It's a nice contrast. Ooh, Hulk. Some of my best one-liners came out of this game. Like, I think you're fighting some dude. What was his name? Savage? I can't remember his name. He's basically Hulk, but a military, like, I don't know, sergeant. And you can pick him up, and he's just like, "Put me down, darling." He says it exactly like that, I swear. And you have this ability to do like this super clap, and it like deafens anyone it hits. You fight this one guy, I'm fairly sure his name is Rampage. And if you hit him with the super version, he's like, "You're louder than the voices in my head." This game is amazing. It's a little rough. Especially the Bruce Banner missions in the later levels where you have to be sneaky. Those can be a bit rough until you figure it out, but the combat, now that I think about it, it's a little slow and can be tedious, but other than that, this is actually a really good game. If you like Hulk, or just Marvel games, or superhero games in general, this is a really good game to pick up. Okay. I played through this game until I got stuck on this one level. They keep shooting a generator or a boiler or a nuclear plant. I don't know. They just keep shooting it and it blows up. And no matter what I do, I cannot stop them from doing it. Other than that, I like this game. But I can't beat it and I can't progress in it. So I just stopped playing it. That's not really my thing, I guess. Yeah, it's the other thing. It's one player. One player. If I had like 2 players, I could probably beat the level, but it's just 1 player, so you have to hope the NPCs you're stuck with do their fucking job. Anyway, moving on. Ooh, I actually picked this one up not too long ago. The Thing. I haven't played this game, but I want to. I'm thinking about streaming this for whatever reason. I know this game's not exactly... Yeah. What happened to this manual? I still have no idea what any of this is. It's like salt? Or something? I don't know, this manual's fucked up. It's like someone dipped it in salt water or something and just left it. But it's still eligible, like I can still read it, so I guess it's not terrible. But the game's fine. I think it's actually a blue disc. Yeah, it's a blue disc. Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? No, you can't. The camera's blocking my face. So anyway, I really want to play this game. I love the Thing movies, both the Thing movies, and apparently this has a cameo from the helicopter pilot in the first movie at the end that I kind of got spoiled on because I looked that up before I bought this game. And I just spoiled it for you and didn't leave a spoiler warning, so oh well, you're spoiled. But hey, spoil yourself a little every day, you deserve it. Yes, you. Talking to you. Right there. You see this finger? Spoil yourself. Every day, just a little. Alright, moving on. I made it weird enough. Yeah. This is probably my favorite cartoon of all time, Ed, Edd n Eddy. There's a couple that are coming close these days, like they're putting out a lot of good cartoons, like Adventure Time's close, I like Steven Universe, stuff like that, but back in the day, I like the show over SpongeBob fucking SquarePants. Everyone else I talked to is like, oh no, SpongeBob's the best show. No. Fuck you. It was this show, man. This show was just that amazing. I remember watching this with my parents and everything else. Relatives, siblings, it didn't matter. Everyone loved this show. This game is actually pretty good. It actually feels like you're playing just a episode of the show, and I think, yeah, there's actually a DVD inside with a bonus episode on it, so you can actually watch 1 episode of the show on this. For whatever reason, just a side note, I tried to buy the like a season. Get off my hand. I tried to buy like a season of the show or something, and I could not find it. Hang on, I'm reaching for something. So anyway, yeah, I tried finding seasons of this show on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever I could find. I didn't care. VHS tape, I would have taken it. I would have bought that shit. But I couldn't find it. I could find the first season, I think. And they want like 12, I don't know, 80 bucks for that. And then after that, there's nothing. There's nothing that you can buy at Anywise. You might be able to buy episodes on Amazon. I haven't looked there. But I want hardcore DVDs where I can just watch it anytime. Now, it's kind of disappointing to me because I actually went out and bought these. Let's see. 4th season. Trying to get it a little bit in order here. I bought the first 4 seasons of the original Teen Titans show. You can find it on Amazon for like really cheap. And now, my question was, if I can find this, and I can buy this for next to nothing, and it's all on DVD, why can't I find this? It just made me mad. I still need to find, or buy the last season, the 5th season, and the Trouble in Tokyo movie. Alright, the last game from this stack. We're already 22 minutes in. The Legend of Spyro, A New Beginning. I really like this game. Elijah Wood did a really good voiceover for Spyro. It wasn't quite the snarky, sarcastic dragon from the first one, but I think that was actually good that they made him a little more timid-ish. He wasn't terribly timid. Character didn't change too much. But I actually really like this game. A lot of people said, oh, it's not as good as the original game, yada yada yada. And I will give you, it's not. But you know what? It's close. It's really underrated in my opinion. It gives you a brand new story, brand new fighting mechanics, brand new villains, storyline, plot, the whole 9 yards. At least they made a very good solid effort. Some of the other games didn't even do that, which, I'll be honest, I haven't played some of the other games. I have played some of them. I think I played Year of the Dragonfly, and it was like, oh, okay, it's good, but it's the same thing. It was kind of boring to me, I think. But it's been so long since I played it, I don't remember. I think that was the issue with them. They were just so unrememberable. But this is really rememberable. Because I like this. The only thing I don't like is they had too much of the same enemy. The fucking monkeys, they're just a little slightly different with every element. Should give you a couple different enemies. Alright, so that's going to do it with that stack. Alright. So, moving on to the second stack, I'm going to start off strong with King Kong. This game is fucking amazing, man. I honestly don't know what to compare it to, though, because I mean, it's obviously a first-person shooter, and there's dinosaurs and villagers. Actually, no, you can't shoot the villagers. You can't kill people, but there's the centipedes. There's the little baby dinosaurs, the giant raptors. There's bats. I remember that. There's big bosses. There's just all kinds of crazy shit in this game. I watched the AVGN guys play this. And they were like, oh, this game's okay, but, you know, it's not great. I will say that they ran into one problem that I ran into, and I didn't know it until I actually looked at the manual, because it doesn't fucking tell you. But if you hit triangle over and over again, Kong, like, starts banging on his chest, and if you do the cycle through, those screen turns yellow, and he gets, like, freaking roided out, and all of his attacks are stronger, everything's slow-mo. And they didn't do the shoulder thrust thing, which makes the game a lot easier when you're fighting the first giant bat. They don't tell you that either. Or they don't explain it. So I can see how they came to the conclusion that this wasn't a very drawn out game. And you actually had to look in the manual to find that shit. But once you get past the first Kong section, it all just smooths out. And you understand the controls very well. Okay. Moving on. Silent Hill 3. This is the only Silent Hill game I own. I want the second one on Xbox, I believe, because that way you can play it on the 360 through HDMI, and it looks apparently really good. I actually don't know if this version is on Xbox. I might look into that, but this game kind of pissed me off a little bit. I played through all the way to the end boss. I got there, but I just did not have enough healing items. I empty every gun I have at it, which I think was 3. I killed too many unnecessary monsters was my problem. Like, you can just run by certain ones. and I didn't want to risk my health, so I used my guns on them, and I just didn't have enough of anything. I didn't have enough health, I didn't have enough bullets, my melee weapons didn't quite do enough, and I found it really hard to dodge the end enemy. Every playthrough I've ever seen to get tips, they just have like a bajillion healing items or bullets. So I had to play through this game completely through and just be like super conscientious about healing items and bullets. So I like this game. It's just a slog. It really is. It's just, you gotta like take your time and just go at it a little piece at a time and get used to the controls, because it's Resident Evil friggin' 10 controls. Let's see here. Oh yes. The first God of War game. Look at that shit. For only $5. How can you beat that? This game is amazing. Before, you can actually see how they thought that this game would be a one-off, and how in the lore, and even at the end of the game, there's like, Kratos is with the God of War for all time, yada yada yada. Yeah, well, I bet you didn't expect he'd be like 300 years old and have a kid in your latest game, did you? But that's okay, because you've done amazing things. Okay. I'm not sure if this is my favorite God of War game. It's definitely up there. But I just don't know if I like this game or the third game better. I just really do not know. Part of me wants to say this one. But I don't know. I'd have to like play them both like back to back and do like a hardcore compare and contrast. But if you don't have this game and you own a PlayStation, you really need to pick it up, because it is just amazing. Oh, it actually comes with a second disc. This is the special edition, where you get all the special features, like how they made it and a couple behind the scenes stuff. So if you can find this version, definitely do it, because there's all kinds of interesting stuff in there. Ooh. Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2. I've never played Gundam 1, but I've played this one, and it is good, with the one exception being the fucking bosses, because they don't tell you this, but if you hold down square, again, it's another one of those games, or one of those things where they just don't tell you very well, or if they do, I didn't fucking notice. Because when I first played this, the bosses were impossible for me, because I would have to go around and hit it just a little bit to charge up my super attack, because that seemed to be the only thing that did any kind of damage to them. What I didn't know is if you fucking hold down square, you'll charge up a super attack of a completely different kind, and that does damage to them. And they, for all I knew, didn't tell you this. I didn't know this until I went into the special little training section, and it took me forever to get there, and it was just a slog again. A lot of these games are really good games. They just have slightly underutilized like instructions, and you just kind of have to figure it out yourself. Okay, so this is Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam. I remember playing this game vaguely with my brothers back in the day. It doesn't work now for whatever reason. I think I had the disc cleaned and it still doesn't work, so I'm hoping it's not dead, like the disc is corroded or something. So I don't really have too many memories of this one, so I'm just gonna move on. Ooh, hang on, I gotta move that one down a bit. Yeah, it's pitiful. I don't have the case, but it's like my favorite cover to a Jak and Daxter game ever. Jak 2, man. This game was fucking badass when it first came out, because you're used to the first game where you're just running around as Elf Boy with no guns. It's annoying, because the only way you can shoot anything is if you get the yellow eco, and you get like 4 or 5 shots out of that before it runs out, unless you're standing on a well. And then this game comes in, and you get guns, you get dark powers, you can jack cars. It's like Grand Theft Auto Jak and Daxter style. This game was amazing. It still is amazing. And I have a plan to get like some of these like covers fixed. I've heard of something called like FedEx Kinkos or something, where you can go and print out the game covers on like really high quality paper for like a dime. I have like, I don't know, probably a dozen games I need to do that with. Alright, moving on. Jak 3, man. You know, I didn't think they could top Jak 2, but then they came out with this, and I'm like, okay, you got me. You topped it. Congratulations. Part of me wants to buy this on PS3 just for the updated graphics, but I don't think I really need to be honest. If you don't know, in this game you get light and dark powers, which is amazing. So there's like 3 different versions of Jack running around through this game. There's light, dark, and standard. They're not separate things, they're all just one Jack, but you can run around as like using different powers. The first thing I really liked about the light powers is you couldn't use the guns as Dark Jack, but you can use all the guns as Light Jack. So you can like combo all these different guns with your light powers, and it's amazing. Shadow the Hedgehog, man. Yeah, I've never really been a big Sonic fan. But you know, I really like this game, actually. It's where you can just go in and kind of pick whatever scenario you want to be. You can be good, you can be severely evil, you can be neutral, you can be anywhere in between. The only thing I didn't really like about this game is I got so burned out on it and so pissed off with it for so long because I didn't know one little thing. Typically, in a level select screen, you would expect the final level to pop up. No matter, you know, if you beat certain levels or whatever. Well, I thought, okay, well, the final level's not popping up because I haven't beat any of the levels. Well, rather, I haven't beaten all of them, sorry. I had beaten most of them. There was just a couple I hadn't beaten. So I really focused. I beat all the levels, some of them really hard. And the final level still didn't pop up. I didn't know this till later. But the final level was actually in the same list as like new game, load game, settings like that. It was there, which I didn't understand, and then I finally played it and I was like, oh, okay, this is the ending. Okay, this is nice. So, like this game. I haven't played too many other Sonic games, which is a little ironic considering the next game on the list. Sonic Mega Collection Plus for the PlayStation 2. Let's see what else is in here. We got the original Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. So we got 7 games. Those of you who remember the Sega Genesis collection of mine, I actually do have this game in cartridge form. Just because I wanted a cartridge Sega Genesis Sonic game. Just to kind of see how they compare, and naturally this is a bit better because you can use component video cables rather than just composite or S-video. Well, I guess you could make the argument that you can use SCAR cables and that might look better, but no one really knows about that unless you've really done research into it. Oh wait, let's just see. I think there's actually more games here. Okay, so there's the 7 classics here. Then there's 6 additional Sonic Game Gear titles. Unlockable games and secrets. Okay, yeah. So there's like, I don't know, 11? No. 11 plus 6, that's 14. Yeah, I think. No? No. It's 13. Unlockable game secrets. I don't know how many games are in this, but I know there's a lot. I would say there's at least 15. So if you guys want to see me play any of these games, you can just leave a comment down below and I'll get to it. I play these, but I have never beat them. Because I've mentioned this in the other video where my generation, I guess, kind of got spoiled with save files or whatever. Because these games, I'll get stuck or whatever, I'll lose all my lives and have to go all the way back to the beginning. It was always kind of shitty to me because I would expect there to be like a save point or something, and there might be with these. It's been so long since I played it, I don't remember, but like I said, if you want to see me play any of these games, just leave a comment down below. Ooh, Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 2. This game was really fun back in the day. This was Batman Arkham City before Arkham City. Like, I think they pulled the formula from this game and made Arkham City. It's really fun. It's a little empty. It's obviously dumbed down for PS2 graphics. I'm trying to remember my favorite fight of this game, actually. I know it wasn't the final boss, but anyway, moving on. Spider-Man 3 for the PlayStation 2. I think this was also released on the PlayStation 3, but they dumbed it down for this version. I really liked this game. If I remember right, my favorite fight in this game was the fight with the... I can't remember her name. I think it was Banshee, because she has symbiote on her too. So it's like the first time you're like fighting someone with the symbiote, and it's somewhat even grounds. I would think the lizard fights were pretty fun too, now that I think about it. Oh yes. Capello's Big Game Hunter. Me and my dad used to play this all the time. He would, you can like go hunt bear or whatever in this game, and he would say, "Oh, go out there and hunt it with a knife," and we'd like start challenging each other and giving each other either super overpowered stuff or super underpowered stuff, and we'd go after like bears, tigers, whatever. It's an okay game if you like this kind of genre. I'm not too hot about it. You know, it's not my favorite thing. So, however, on the other hand, oh wait, no, this one didn't have that yet. Okay, this game was actually pretty good. It just did the same thing the other one did, but it was a little bit better. Just slightly better updated graphics, more stuff, more dangerous stuff, yada yada. Now, the next game in the series I actually genuinely like. Cabela's Dangerous Hunts. Now, here's something you might not know. If a Cabela's game has a story, it's actually pretty good. Now, I know of 2 games that did it, or have done it. 3 actually, but I haven't played the last one. This game, Cabela's Dangerous Hunts 2009, I think. And then there's the Shadow of Gamora. I don't know, it's like a mountain. You can look it up. Whatever reason, every time a Capello game has a story, yeah, it's kind of generic or whatever. I like it. I like this game because there are 2 final bosses back to back that you have to beat. There's a cutscene, they fill your health, whatever. But the first one is a bear. This big bear that they've hyped up, whatever. And unless you run back and get the pistol or the rifle, which the pistol's kind of hard to find and the rifle's obvious, but it runs out of bullets, the only thing you find is a stick. So you're sitting there having to club a bear with a stick, and I've actually challenged myself and only used the stick to kill the bear. And it was amazingly hard, but I did it, and I'm kind of proud of it. And then you get to this cutscene, oh, the bear's dead, yada yada yada. And then who shows up but a friggin' Yeti? The Yeti shows up. And you get a shotgun and a stick. It's the same stick. For whatever reason, I've had a couple different things happen with the Yeti. Either he comes after me and it's an okay, difficult fight, or there's like these NPC guys in the background who he'll run over and just keep beating the shit out of the entire game, and you can just stand in one spot and keep shooting him. I don't know if my game's bugged, I don't know if that's what's supposed to happen, but this game's actually pretty good. Alrighty. Okay, I gotta scooch down the pile here to get to this one. Devil May Cry. Oof. Okay. I did not like this game as much as some people. The camera angles are a bitch. They keep using the same bosses over and over and over again. And the final boss, I didn't know this because they didn't fucking tell you, and I have to go back through and play it now because I know this. Because when you fight him, you're already in your like super devil mode that you can only like be in for like tiny instances throughout the entire rest of the game. Well, apparently as you're fighting him, you're still charging up that gauge, and I didn't know this, because why would I know this? Because you're already in your super powered form. Once the bar is full, you like let another demon out of your chest, and it goes and attacks the boss. I can't remember his name. I want to say Dagon, but it's not Dagon. So that's the thing. I like this game. It's a good game. It set the standard, or the It was the basis for a lot of good games to come. But the camera angles, the okay fighting, and the kind of cryptic, at times, fighting was a little much for me. Now, the next game, everyone's like, oh, it's so shitty, or it's so shitty. Fuck you, this game is 10 times better. I know it's not a popular opinion, but it's my opinion. This game is 10 times better. They took away all those fucked up camera angles. They give you more variety of bosses. You get, who's this girl? Her name is Lucia. You get to play as Lucia. So that gives you Dante's playthrough to play through, and it gives her playthrough to play through. So it's essentially like twice the game. You get 2 games in one with this. And they give you all these cool power-ups. The final boss is actually pretty good. For both characters, I like Dante's final boss more, I think, than Lucia's. But this game is still 10 times better than the first one. Alright. Now I'm gonna get roasted for that. Here we go. Devil May Cry 3. Alright. A little bit of a confession here. I have not beat this game yet. I can't remember what part of the game it was. I remember playing this and kind of getting burnt out on it just because I played it for I think a month straight or something, a week straight. I can't remember. It was a long time. It was, I think, about 3 years ago I played all this. And I got to this one part where I got stuck. I couldn't find out where to go. Nothing like that. So I gotta go back through, look up a walkthrough, I don't know, something, and try to beat this game. Because I actually genuinely like this game. It brought back more of the Devil May Cry that a lot of the people from the first game liked. But it kept things from Devil May Cry 2 that I really liked. Like, they still don't have the fucked up camera angles where you can't see shit. They have more variety boss battles. And you can play as Dante's brother at some point in this game. What's his name? Virgil. You can play as Virgil. Something about a new Jester boss, very hard mode, yada yada. This is the special edition. FYI, so it gives you extra shit. Now, for whatever reason, I wound up with 2 copies of this game. The Greatest Hits and the Standard. This Harry Potter game is by far the best in the series. And I've played all the way up to Order of the Phoenix. If there's a better game than any of that, I don't know, because I have the first 5 games. I have Sorcerer's Stone, you saw that in the PlayStation 1 video. I have the Chamber of Secrets, you'll see that in the upcoming Xbox video. And I have the Prisoner of Azkaban, and I'll get to the other ones later. But this one, it's really good, the levels are really thought out. I like the part where you can ride on Buckbeak and fly around. There's a couple exploitable things. I don't know if they're bugs, glitches, I don't know, but I found them here and there. The only part that I didn't like with this game, and it was kind of my fault because I hated this game for so long because I just didn't pick up on the clues, was when you get the Lumos spell, you're in this room with these little, I don't know, one-legged things hopping around, they throw lanterns at you, it's really annoying. And you can't hurt them. Well, I flicked on the Lumos spell, and like, oh, they just gave me a new spell. Use it on them. And he's like, well, it's doing something. They would stand still and kind of wobble. And I would move to the next one, trying to, like, incapacitate them all, thinking, oh, okay, like, make them woozy or whatever. I gotta make them woozy. Well, I didn't know you were supposed to stand there and just hold it on them until they, like, become physical and you can kill them with the knockback jinx. What's it called? Flippendo or I don't know, Filipino, who knows? I really don't know. These spells are confusing. I just remember Lumos because they say it in the movie so much. Anyway, outside of that one little cryptic part, it was really straightforward, and it really wasn't that cryptic, it was just me being an idiot. That's kind of a common trend in these games. I'll get to a part and I'll be an idiot and get stuck. But anyway. Moving on, this is a good game. If you don't have it, you can pick it up for the PlayStation. If you have an Xbox 360, you can probably pick up the Xbox version and play it through HDMI, but, you know, it's your own preference. Okay. So now we have the Goblet of Fire. This is a good game. It was an okay game. I like this game. Well, it's not a great game. It did things different than the third game. It tried to do its own thing. I like the final boss battle with Voldemort. It was okay. I wish it would have been a little different than it was, but hey, you know, to each their own. Level design was actually pretty good. Now we move on to the last one in my game collection. The Order of the Phoenix. You could tell very well that this game was meant for Wii. Because they have you doing all these like motion controls with the friggin' wand to like try to make you like do it. Like the actual wand movements to cast the spells, and it was just on a PlayStation 2 controller it was kind of a pain in the ass, really. God damn it, there's a hair here, but I can't get, there it is. Gone. Anyway, so I mentioned if you got this game on Wii or maybe PlayStation 3, because I'm pretty sure it came out there, and you get the PlayStation Move controller, whatever. It might be easier. Maybe Xbox 360 has a version where you can use the Kinect. I don't know, but this is a game that was very heavily meant to be used with motion sensors. Playing it on a gamepad, it works. It doesn't work well. So that's the last game in that stack. So moving on. So the next game from the last stack is Ratchet & Clank Size Matters. From what I understand, this was a PSP game and they knocked it up to PS2 standards. So I don't know. It was a pretty good game. I have yet to beat it. I just have to beat the final boss. I've beaten everything else. I don't know why, but he's like a massive jump in difficulty, and I was having to, rather, because I haven't played this in years, probably. I'm having to grind up and upgrade my weapons, because I managed to get through the rest of the game with fairly unleveled up weapons. Actually, if I remember, is it? No, I think it's Deadlock, where you don't buy upgrades, you just use the weapon and it upgrades itself over time. Something like that. I could be wrong, maybe you have to buy upgrades, but I remember I was farming a lot. I was like going completely back through the game and doing like a complete another run of the entire game just to get bolts to upgrade my weapons. So I actually might be able to beat the boss. There might be a strategy, I just haven't went back and done it yet. So, ooh, up your arsenal. I love how every one of these is a double entendre. Up your arsenal. Yeah, size matters. The only one I don't think is double entendre is Deadlocked. Maybe that is, and I'm just not getting it. I don't know. I really like these games. For whatever reason, I don't have. I think this is actually the third one. Let's see, is it advertised? Yeah. No, it's Deadlocked. I know there was Ratchet & Clank, the first one. I know there's Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, Size Matters, Deadlocked, and then there's all the new ones I haven't played. Like, I still want the new one on PS4. I haven't got that one yet. I'm gonna do that soon, though. But anyway, I really like this game. I got to a part where it was like, I think 3/4 through the game, and it like froze. Like, I hit this one loading screen where I just could not get past it. It was right where they thought Clark was dead or whatever. And it would do the loading screen and it would freeze. It wouldn't load. And I got so mad, and then I had to play through the entire game again. I had the disc cleaned. And this is another game I haven't beat just for that reason. But I was like barrel rolling through this game. It was that good. Or steamrolling, I should say, not barrel rolling. And I just hit this wall, and it was like, oh shit, I have to clean the disc and go all the way back through it, because for whatever reason I lost my save, or I think the save got corrupted, I don't know. So I would love to go back and play this game. Now this game I've beaten many times. Ratchet & Clank Deadlocked. Man, this game is amazing. People say, oh, it's shitty, you don't have Clank. Fuck Clank. Look at these guys. You got two robots with friggin' machine guns. What does Clank do? Get big every now and again? Whoop-de-fuck. Clank's kind of doing what I think he should have been doing since the first game. Just kind of been helping you out in the background. I mean, yeah, he's helpful in some instances, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I like this game, I think so. It's either this one or Up Your Arsenal is my favorite. I've played the other games, I have. It's just, out of all of them, I think this one might be my favorite. Up Your Arsenal is close. It's very close. But I think this one might be my favorite. Ooh. I love this game. The Third Age. Man, this game is so good. It's like Final Fantasy, turn-based RPG. All except it gives you a completely new storyline with different characters in the Lord of the Rings universe. Excuse me, sinuses. And the characters are genuinely intriguing. You want to know more about these characters. You start to like really connect with them. I remember this story just as well as I do the standard Lord of the Rings story. How many characters do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's more than that. I'm fairly sure there's more than that. Anyway, you have at least 6 characters. Oh, and you run into characters like Legolas, Gandalf, and Arwen, I believe, just in random encounters, and they'll help you fight. The first time you get someone to help you out, it's actually the Balrog fight, and you get Gandalf. That's like a completely different level, because you're used to fighting goblins that do like, oh, like, I don't know, 40, maybe 100 damage if they're good. You hit him and he's doing like 2,000-3,000 damage. Yeah, the only reason you survive that fight is Gandalf. The only one who can do any amount of damage besides Gandalf is this girl. Her name is Idriel. That's because she has like water moves and he's fire, yada yada. But that's it. That's the only reason she does any kind of damage. Alright. Ooh. If my brother is watching this. Oh yeah, let's bring back nostalgia yet? Lord of the Rings, Return of the King for the PlayStation 2. This was the first game I ever owned on PlayStation 2. I got my PlayStation and I got this in the same day. Man, I am in love with this game. There's actually one level. It wasn't in the movie. I don't think it was in the book. It was just an add-on level. But, it throws you, like, at this, like, gate in front of a river or whatever. And there's just so many enemies on screen, the PlayStation actually starts to lag at some points. Well, me and my brother, seeing how you have to farm up kills in this game, we're like, we think we see an opportunity here. We stayed in that level for, I think, 3 hours, doing nothing but killing friggin' enemies. It got boring. We killed so many enemies. And eventually we figured out that it just had so many like pre-generated sprites that would run across screen or fuck with you or whatever. In that 3 hours we managed to kill every one of those sprites to where nothing was running around. Absolutely nothing new was spawning. And then we finished the rest of the level and went through. I think we got like 300 kills, 350 kills, something like that. Oh, and the first boss, the Evil Dead, no, not the Evil Dead King, just the Ghost King. All 3 of us were trying to whoop his ass, and I was actually the first one who managed to kick his ass. Oh, memories, but I gotta move on. Oh yes, The Hobbit. I love this game. It does something that a lot of games don't do to me, and that it actually managed to convey like the emotions of the book, I believe. I mean, you play through the first level and it's all happy and quaint and like a cartoon. It's all bubbly and you're like, oh hey, why would I want to leave the Shire? And then you go out and you see all these amazing things and you see all these horrible things and you're just like, okay, the Shire might not be so bad. And then immediately you see something else and you're just like, You know, I think it evens out. It's a really good game, honestly. The only thing I wish is there would have been like a final boss fight, but there unfortunately was not one of those. I don't know why they went that route. At least I don't remember there being a final boss. But I gotta move on again before I get too nostalgic. Ooh. Since I'm not quite sure of the order of release on these, I'm just gonna go as I have them. I know this one wasn't first though. Mortal Kombat Armageddon. This is probably the... yep. This is probably the Mortal Kombat game I have played the most. It's still in here, yep. I remember I liked the new character they introduced. I think his name was Craven, and his brother was Dagon, if I remember it right. They were new characters, and you could play through their eyes, and that's kind of new. I don't know if they've ever popped up again. I haven't played games past this one. I really want to, really need to, yada yada yada. I'll probably pick up the Mortal Kombat games on PlayStation 3 or Xbox. I know they're really cheap right now. So next we have Deadly Alliance. I actually think this game came out before Armageddon, if I remember right. I'm kind of going off graphics, because each one kind of steps it up a little bit. And I think I'm starting to go down, so I think I'm going like last to first. I remember the basic plot of this game. I remember playing it a bit. I remember my brothers kicking my ass in it. Other than that, I really don't remember too much about it, honestly. So, moving on. Let's see. Deception. Again, it's the same thing with the other one. I remember this game vaguely. I remember playing it. It was okay. Yada yada. I remember my brothers kicking my ass at it all the time. But other than that, I don't really remember anything, though. Moving on. Yes. It's another one of those games where I have to get a new case for. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. I'll zoom in a little bit for that one. Maybe hopefully the disc is better off. Yeah, there we go. Shaolin Monks. I think I know what the cover's approximately supposed to look like, but... oh well. I actually remember more about this game. I think me and my brother played last time he visited, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly sure it was the last time he visited we played this. So, moving on. Ow, creaking my back. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. This is actually an interesting game for me, because I played this on the PlayStation 2, I played this on the Xbox 360 now. I was playing through that, I kind of cut it off, just, you'll see why. I played it on the DS. I've played it one other place. Where was it? I want to say I played it on the Wii version, but I don't own the Wii version. But I know I played this like on every platform almost that it was released on. The 360 or PlayStation 3 version obviously being the better one, but this is the one I had for I can't remember how long. See, the thing is, I love this game, I love playing through it, but after I played through all those different versions of it, I just got so burnt out on it. So that's why I was playing through the Xbox 360 version, because it was just like, oh hey, you know, it's a new version, I guess, you know. But it was the exact same thing, just with prettier graphics and a couple different things, because it had more horsepower, and it was just... it got repetitive, but I've beaten this one and the DS version. Alright, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I don't own Battlefront 1, I own Battlefront EA on the PS4. I've done a couple live streams of that. Whatever reason, one of those videos actually got up to 100 views, and I'm not quite sure why. It was just a random, like, pot hit. Or, is that the term? Pot hit? I don't know. I haven't played baseball in I don't know how long. Oh, this game was amazing though. I actually managing to kick my brother's ass in this occasionally. I think the Naboo map was always the hardest for me for whatever reason. I don't think I ever beat Galactic Conquest. I think I came close and then I lost my save file or I deleted it by accident. I don't remember. But I remember loving that game. Ooh, yes. Lego Star Wars, the video game. I had the Lego Star Wars 2 somewhere. I don't know where it is though. I may have lost it. Unless it's in here. No, it's not in here. Right, is this a blue disc? Really? It is a blue disc. Holy fuck. Okay. I don't remember being blue disc. What was the difference between blue disc and standard disc anyway? I have to look that up. This was a good game. It was the first in the series, and they definitely improved on it as time went by. But it was, no one talked in this game. Now that I think about it, no one. So it was a good game, but it was not the best. I think even just Lego Star Wars 2 was better. Okay, Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. This was an okay game. You go through Anakin and Obi-Wan's playthrough, you get more force powers, yada yada. I remember the boss battles, especially the Mace Windu fight in this one, for whatever reason being extremely hard. But I remember beating it through both playthroughs, but I don't remember liking it that much for whatever reason. I think it just became repetitive and sloggy after a while. So... okay, so I know which order these came out, or at least I'm fairly sure. So I'm gonna go reverse order with these. Yeah, it's still there. I, funny enough, used to have like 3 or 4 copies of this game. Dragon Ball Sagas. Look at that white. Is that eye burning white? Yeah. This is a pretty good game. I like it. Because you're more of a free roaming kind of thing. Your characters look like they're made of clay, whatever. I do like that you can unlock, I believe it's Broly, Bardock, and someone else I think. It's not King Vegeta, but you can unlock someone else. I always play through this game as Bardock because he's my favorite character. Well, I don't know. I think Gohan's my favorite character, then it's Bardock, and then it's Vegeta. I think that's my order. It's either Bardock, Gohan, Vegeta, or Gohan, Bardock, Vegeta. Did I say that twice? It's either Gohan, Bardock, Vegeta, or Bardock, Gohan, Vegeta, yeah. It's like one of those two. So anyway, moving on. We have Dragon Ball Z... God damn it. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1. Hang on, I gotta pick that shit up. Okay. This game was really fun. For whatever reason, Goku is not the strongest character in this game. Because they did one thing with it that was kind of annoying. They make it to where every time you go through a transformation, your power bar starts to go down faster and faster. Well, Goku has Kaioken times 2, Kaioken times 5, Kaioken times 10, and I think they even gave him Kaioken times 20 and then Super Saiyan. They gave him like 5 transformations of this game, so by the time you get up to Super Saiyan, you are fucked. Because your power bar is going to go down so fast it's not even funny. Ironically though, Vegeta only has 2 transformations, Super Saiyan and Super Vegeta. Which makes him my go-to character, with the exception of Gohan, which again only has 2 transformations, Super Saiyan 1 and 2. Or I think they call it Full Power Super Saiyan in here before it got retconned. It's a good game, but I don't like that one oversight. I'm into so much shit. Now, I have 2 copies of this game. Budokai 2. This is arguably my favorite Budokai game. They took away that annoying thing where your power bar just gets drained. I think they introduced the bar system where you'll get to a certain point and then your energy will stop decreasing. I can't remember, it's been a while, and I can't remember the specifics of the game. But I'm going to narrow it down to 1. Oh, yeah. Just so it's easier to look up on screen. Or to look on screen. I like this one. I think in the Japanese version you can fuse Tien and Yamcha and get Tiencha. I don't think you can do that in this game. I could be wrong. But they introduced a couple little fun things like that into this game. Like, you get what happens if Super Buu absorbs Cell, absorb Frieza, absorb Vegeta. Things like that you get in this game. And I think Budokai 3 did it a little bit, but not nearly to the extent. So I really like this game for that. That and the moves were a lot more streamlined than they are in 1 and 2, or 1 and 3. So next we have Budokai 3. Man, this game, I like it, I do. But the like superpower moves were always a pain in the ass for me, because in the other game you don't have to do that little bar jump thing where you have to like wait and hit X and hit X. I would always just hit X like really fast in a row thinking, oh, I gotta hit X to like build up power, but they only let you press it 3 times. So it's like whoever holds out the the most gets it. It always used to fuck with my head. I think that's why I like the second game better, because it was more intuitive for me. But they did throw in a couple cool Easter eggs in here, like Gogeta versus Gotenks in a tournament fight. Tien versus Yamcha, where Yamcha wins. Look it up. I might actually do a video on that, actually, if no one else has, just to throw it out there. Oh, it's amazing. I think you can actually fight Broly as Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, or Goku at some point in this. Maybe Vegeta too, I can't remember. Oh yes, and there's that one part where it's a like what if fight where if like they say, oh, what happens if Vegeta turns Super Saiyan on Namek alongside Goku, and Vegeta actually beat Frieza, and then they start fighting. It was just a couple of interesting things like that. So moving on, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. Now this is a thing where I can't really say if any of these games were better, because they all did certain things better. Like, I remember this one did a lot more of the story fights better. Like even just the little tiny fights that were like, even if it was just a minute long in the show, you could still fight it out in this one before moving on. Sometimes you even had to do that. So, I remember when this came out, it blew my mind. I loved it. I remember playing this game a couple times when I was sick, and you know, this was like the only thing keeping me company for a while. It was amazing. So, when moving on, we have Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Now they upgraded the moves. I think the evasion got better. I'm trying to remember all the little things they did better. I want to say the cinematics got better in this, because they learned to utilize the tech better or something. I think this may have been my favorite one, but I'm actually better at 3, I think. So, I think this is actually my favorite, now I remember. Because I finally learned like all these little like tips, tricks, moves, and I played through this on very hard. I had to put this game on very hard on everything just so as I get a remote challenge. Because none of the computers like remotely give me a fight anymore when I play through this. I remember my brother coming through, and he always beat me in every game I ever played, and I popped this in. I'm like, okay, if he can beat me in this game, I will like, you know, admit that you are better at me in every aspect of a video game. And I trounced his ass for like the first time in my life. And he was like, I want to play a different game. And it's like, oh, what? You've been sitting here making fun of me all fucking day because you've been beating me, and I fucking whooped your ass in this game, and you want to play a different game? Suck it up. I think that's one of my better gaming memories. Ooh. Down to the last 2 games, and I don't know which to show. Huh. I guess I'll go with this one. No, yeah, Resident Evil 4 for PlayStation 2. No, it's not actually in here. I'll show that in a minute. Back when I got this, I watched the movies. I liked the movies. Never played any of the games. This is my first Resident Evil game of all time. And it kind of spoiled me because I tried going back and didn't like it. Oh man, but at the time I was like, you know, I want a game where it's more realistic. I want a game where like I genuinely have to like struggle to survive and have to like use my head to outthink shit. And I didn't expect this game of all games to deliver. And this was actually the only game to deliver that up until I played The Last of Us on PlayStation 3. This was like, those 2 games are probably my favorite in that genre. Resident Evil 4 and Last of Us. Last of Us obviously being a very different game than this, because there aren't like gigantic monsters trying to kill you, there's just standard ones. I think the biggest one is the bloater, and that's kind of a standard enemy in this game. So, I love this game. I didn't know this until later. Well, I didn't know. I said later, but I didn't know until after I beat the game or whatever. And then you can play through as Ada Wong. Then you get the mercenary missions. It's just an amazing game. This is probably the best version of it to pick up for the PlayStation, GameCube, Xbox, Dreamcast era. I don't think this came out on Xbox. I know it came out on GameCube and PlayStation 2. Out of the two, get this version because I think it has the most stuff. Or get it on like PlayStation 3 or Xbox or whatever through the updated versions. And I think you get even more stuff there. Alright, I think this is my favorite PlayStation 2 game of all time. War of the Monsters. But no one talks about this game. It's basically a 3D version of Rampage, if you've ever played Rampage. Again, this game is not in there, and I'll show you why in a minute. Me and my brothers played this game so much and so long that I remember every... you can play as every monster, and they all have their different ending. I remember all the endings. I remember most of the moves. I remember most of where, like, to get... There's a level, it's like my favorite level, it's like Vegas. There's a giant stone sword in the middle of this like half U, or half circle. If you punch it enough, it'll like just fall to the ground and you can use this giant stone sword. And this guy is actually my favorite, his name's Ultra V. My brother's favorite was this one and Robo 47. His name is Kongar and the robots were Robo 47. I can't remember my other brother's favorite. I want to say it was the Lizard or Robo 47 again. They both loved him pretty much because he had a robot or a rocket that would come out of his head. He had a drill hand. It was amazing. It's like every good 50s movie thrown into a like free for all like fight to the death game. And the final boss is actually really challenging. I can go back to this now and still get tons of entertainment out of it. So moving on to why the games are not in here. I have my two PlayStation 2 models. Oop. I have the silver one, which is by far my newest one, well, except for the other one my cousin stole. And this one, which has Resident Evil 4 and War of the Monsters. Sorry, I burped halfway through that. I think that goes to show just how much I love these games because I don't ever take these games out. It's like the only two PlayStation games I like religiously play. So, these two games, man. I'm trying to get a nice over-the-head shot. Yeah. These games, man, they're just amazing. But anyway, with that, that's going to end my PlayStation 2 collection. Finally, I can move on to less strenuous stuff. Because, I knew this one was going to take a while. I think it's up, I know it's over past an hour. I want to say it's like an hour and a half now. I'm trying to get like a nice final shot here. Oof. So anyway guys, I'm gonna cut this off before it goes on any longer because I don't want to have to edit too much of a 3-hour long video. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.